everybody has some skin in the game.
Well, I see that Mr. Wilson is here. We kind of got a head start on you.
That's okay.
Okay. But we do have a couple questions left that you both can answer if you care to do that. And we aren't doing any introductory statements. And our timekeeper is right there. And we're going to revert back to the 1 minute for a question and 30 seconds for rebuttal. So Congressman Johnson's been talking a long time. We'll start with you. Do you support continued funding of the Appalachian Regional Commission?
Would you please repeat the question for
Do
me?
you support continued funding of the Appalachian Regional Commission?
Absolutely.
You can expand.
So I talked.
You have 60 seconds.
Okay. Well, I think the Appalachian Regional Commission, number one, is certainly very important to our area. There was a vote a couple of years ago when I was in Congress. The Republican Party brought up a bill to do away with the Appalachian Commission. I think it's a very bad idea. I think there needs to be more and more opportunity in Appalachia, and we certainly do that by some of the funding that we do. I'm proud of the broadband, excuse me, that we brought forward, and a lot of the areas in Appalachia have been able to have broadband, and it was because of the initiative of the last Congress. I'm delighted to see that we have that kind of expansion. It will not only help people and provide more safety, but it also gives more opportunity for business. As we expand and we live in this Appalachian area, I truly believe that one of the best opportunities we have is the funding for Appalachia.
Well, that's one that Congressman Wilson and I agree on. My voting record is clear. I too have voted in opposition to cuts to the Appalachian Resource Commission, Regional Commission. It's an important program that supports many needs here in Appalachia, Ohio, and I agree.
Congressman Johnson, we'll start with you with this one. Do you believe it is appropriate to use federal dollars to support alternative energy development in Ohio?
I think we need an all of the above energy vision. Most of you in this room have heard my comments about energy. We need to go after the 3 trillion barrels of oil that we have. We need to go after the vast volumes of oil and natural gas that we have right underneath our feet here in Ohio. We need to continue to harvest the volumes of coal that we have. We've got enough coal to provide our energy needs for generations to come. And yes, there's a place for wind and solar. I don't believe that wind and solar are going to ever meet America's energy needs completely. However, there's a niche place, a niche market where they can do some good. But those investments ought to be market driven. If they can find the solutions, then let's find those solutions. But we should not be destroying the coal industry and trying to regulate the oil and gas industry out of Washington, D.C. At the expense of investing into failed energy programs like Solyndra.
I agree there also. As far as our energy policies, I agree that having solar and wind both to be able to provide us the energy we consume in this area is certainly not enough. The fact that we have low-cost coal and we have the technology that we can burn it clean, I think is a tremendous opportunity for us to attract more business into this area. And I'm excited as well as Congressman Johnson is as far as what's going to happen with the gas and oil opportunities we have. I think it's excellent for our area.
We'll just do one final question because we still have 2 more candidates to get to. And we'll start with you, Congressman Daniels. What do you see as the appropriate role of the federal government in regulating Ohio's coal industry?
In my opinion, we have our own state regulations that should certainly control our coal industry. There are federal EPA regulations, and as long as they're ones that are not punitive to expanding business, and they provide the safety regulations that we need for our coal miners, I'm in favor of those kind of regulations. Otherwise, I think the EPA that would be on the federal level has to keep in check that they do not become business killers with coal, but rather safety standards for our miners to keep them safe. And I'm endorsed by the United Mine Workers, and I'm very proud of that. My opponent serves for the coal owners. I serve for the guys underground mining coal.
Well, I didn't know these were going to be political statements, but since we've made one, there's a big difference between leading and following. The war on coal in Washington began in 2009. In 2009 and 10, Congressman Wilson was into Congress. You can't find a single piece of evidence where he gave a speech on the floor, a letter to the Secretary of the Interior or the Secretary of Energy, or to the President or his leadership about that war on coal. Just last week, I led a 2-week effort, and we had passed with bipartisan support the Stop the War on Coal Act to stop the EPA and the Department of the Interior from shutting down coal mining here in Ohio and across the nation.
I'm sorry I can't call you Congressman Daniels before Congressman Wilson. Thank you both, gentlemen. We're going to move on to the last one.